Make a Path presents Fear the Walking Dead Q&A Quick Question. Alright Deadheads, I'm working on bringing back the Q&A videos, the longer ones, but until then we're going to do these quick ones, just called the Quick Question Q&As. Now basically these are going to continue even when we're doing the longer ones. Now the main reason is because sometimes there's that really popular question that I'll answer in maybe 4 or 5 different long Q&A videos, but people just somehow constantly miss it, or we get new people to the channel. So these quick question Q&As will be for Fear the Walking Dead Season 6, and a couple other topics. I'll be mentioning that in another video. So jumping right into the question, to start it off from Super Videos, he asked, since Fear the Walking Dead is telling the story of the outbreak, is it safe to assume that it will not continue on like the original Walking Dead? I see it lasting 3 to 4 seasons max, if it's only concentrating on the outbreak rather than the survival of the apocalypse. Now here's the thing, I know that's a common misconception, I hear that all the time. How many seasons can they do where it's just the outbreak? You know, the emphasis for Fear the Walking Dead is on the start of the outbreak. However, it's going to continue on to the survival aspect. So yes, essentially, and I don't know when, but in Season 2, possibly, or Season 3, they're going to transition to normal life, the outbreak, and then they'll be in survivor mode, where it's very similar to The Walking Dead. It's about surviving the world now that it's already full of zombies. Yes, it will be like that. Fear the Walking Dead is not just the outbreak and then it's over. It's not just going to end. I'm sure there's plans, you know, if it's successful, to maybe cross over into the original show, but not the way people are thinking. Not the way, you know, take this show and it completely crosses over where all the characters are on one show. I don't believe that's what they have in mind. I believe they have crossover characters, like a character or two crossing over from Fear the Walking Dead, maybe splitting off from that group and entering the storyline in the original. Now that was supposedly a confirmed story idea that was going to happen, and it was confirmed by Nerdist News. Now that doesn't make any sense, because everything that's been said so far by David Erickson and Robert Kirkman, there are no plans to cross over. They do keep it open, but there are no plans. But Nerdist says that the crossover will happen in Season 6 of The Walking Dead for a few episodes. Again, does not make any sense. So we're going to check out Season 6 and see what they're talking about with the crossover. But for now, to answer that question, Fear the Walking Dead will start off with normal life, the outbreak, and eventually, I think Season 1 will be all outbreak. Eventually, when we get into Season 2, maybe 2B, or Season 3, we're going to, you know, be surviving in this world. We'll watch these characters in this world. Now, the way TV works is, if this show is successful, it will stay on the air for as long as it's successful, unless they run out of story, you know? Or unless the story doesn't, you know, if that's the actual authentic end of the story, then they'll end it. But listen guys, if you have any other questions for Fear the Walking Dead, don't worry about if they're a quick question or a regular Q&A. I will determine that based on how many people ask and what's appropriate for the question. So if you have a question for Fear the Walking Dead, go ahead and leave that in the comments down below. Now put Q&A before your question so I know. That way I can scroll through and I know. First thing, Q&A, then your question. If you have a question for The Walking Dead Season 6, go ahead and put that question in the most recent Walking Dead Q&A video. That's all you got to do, right in that most recent. We're going to be bringing the Q&As back starting either in the next few days or over the next week. So put your opinions, thoughts, and predictions in that comment box. Also add your questions. I'm done talking. It's your turn.
Subscribe now.